Sir Topham Hatt has sent Percy and Thomas to collect some freight cars. How many freight cars are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 freight cars. How many freight cars should Thomas and Percy each pull? Thomas takes 5 freight cars. That only leaves 1 freight car for Percy. Percy wants to take the same number of freight cars as Thomas. How many freight cars should Percy take? Percy takes 4 freight cars. Now Thomas only has 2 freight cars. They still haven't got the same number of freight cars. How many freight cars should they each take? Thomas takes 3 freight cars. How many does Percy have? 1, 2, 3 freight cars. The same number as Thomas. They have 3 freight cars each. Well done, Percy and Thomas. It was a glorious day on the island of Sodor. Villagers, children, even Sir Topham Hatt was excited. The circus was coming. The engines were thrilled. They loved the circus too. Percy loved the horses. James loved the clowns. Children gathered on the bridges. They were waiting to see the circus pass by. Thomas became more and more excited. Everyone wanted to collect the circus from Brendam Docks. Sir Topham Hatt came to Tidmouth Sheds. He had exciting news for Thomas. "Thomas, you are to collect the circus," he boomed. Thomas was very happy. Pulling the circus sounded like wonderful fun. "But if there are too many freight cars for you to pull," added Sir Topham Hatt, "you must share the work with another engine." Percy and James were pleased. Maybe they'd get to pull the circus after all. Thomas puffed over to Brendam Docks. Thomas steamed into the docks. Cranky was unloading the circus. Thomas was amazed. There were trailers and horse boxes, colorful costumes, coaches and flatbeds as far as the eye could see. Thomas was so excited his axles tingled. The acrobats and clowns climbed aboard Annie and Clarabelle. Thomas buffered up to collect the coaches. "Do you want a wheel there, matey?" asked Salty cheerfully. Thomas remembered what Sir Topham Hatt had said about sharing the work. But the band started playing, and everybody was cheering. Thomas thought this was the most wonderful special delivery ever. Even though the train was very heavy, he didn't want to share it. "No, thank you, Salty," he gasped. "I can do it on my own." And Thomas took the biggest puff he could and slowly pulled away. Thomas trundled through the countryside. His pistons pumped and his traction rods rattled. But Thomas didn't notice. He was having far too much fun. Thomas puffed toward Marin Station. He had a wonderful surprise.